Okay, welcome to the session 5, Module 5, Occupational Health and Safety Consideration. In the previous section, we have studied the occupational health and safety in construction site. In this session, we'll study occupational health and safety in precast sites. Occupational health and safety in precast concrete. In construction process that uses the product technique product or construction system component that involves installation of prefabricated building components at the construction site. There are several processes of construction which which still need to be constructed at the construction site using the precast concrete components, which starts with proper planning and preparation of works, setting out, stabilizing the component with bracing of propping, lifting work, placing the component and component jointing with welding or grouting work. As with conventional construction, any construction using precast component is not spared from danger using construction work. So precast concreting involves the installation of prefabricated building components in the construction site, and still half the construction is yet to be um, conducted at the construction site, and with the proper planning and preparation work, and setting out stabilizing and components with the bracings or propelling or lifting works, placing the components and component jointing with welding or grouting work. As with the conventional construction, any construction using precast component is not spared from danger during the construction work. So here also in precast, it is also not spared from the dangers. So occupational health and safety in precast concrete has to be considered in. So data collected. Also, let's study. A study population consists of a precast concrete construction among the contractors that are registered in class 1 to class 7 with the Construction Industry Development Board, and class A to class G random sampling with the conducted amongst the companies that are in the population. For the collection of data of CIDB, that is Construction Industry Development Board, there were about 20 contractor companies of precast concrete construction in the study area. The questions are divided into 4 parts. Part A is related to a background of the respondents, the designation, type of the company, and the year of work experience involved in the precast construction project. Part B is related to the proper planning and preparation works before the installation process of the components begins. Part C is related to the safety levels practiced in the employer during the installation process carried out on the site. Part D is related to the safety aspect during the components installation with regard to the technical requirements and procedures that are usually practiced in construction of precast concrete. Part D focuses on general safety and requirements for the crane operation during the installation of precast concrete components performed on site. So for this study, they have collected a data amongst the construction contractors that are registered in class 1 to class 7 with the Construction Industry Development Board, and class A to class G random samplings were conducted among this company. From the collected data of 20 contractor companies, following questions were divided. First one is regarding Part A was regarding to their background, when they started the company, how many work, what is the work experience. Part B is related to the proper planning of preparation work before the installation of the processes. Part C was related to the safety practice levels practiced by the employees during installation. Part D is related to the safety aspect during components installation with regarding to the technical requirements and and Part D is focused on general safety and requirements for the crane operating during the installation. So the data was collected. Planning and preparation work. The bar chart in the figure 1 shows that almost all the, so we can see this, the bar chart. So we'll explain it. I will explain it. So almost all the respondents with 86% score to the mean of 4.85 in scale due to the strongly agreed that is important to improve the planning and preparatory works to have efficient and quality installation. So from the bar chart, that most of them have agreed, that strongly agreed that importance, uh, that is important to have a proper planning for planning and preparatory work to have a efficient and quality installation. The value score of installation processes to the following installation requirement is specified for the installation of vertical and horizontal components, and the importance of considering work items and the checklist before the work installation work starts resulted in mean score of 4.7 and above. Based on this result, it can be conducted that the contractor safety aspects and in the concern is proper planning and preparatory work done before actual installation, which is extremely high level of safety on site and efficient installation work. So uh, in this bar chart, it says that installations, as per the data collected, most of them have agreed that it was a proper planning and um, before a preparation was needed before installation, and the value score of and and the value score for installation procedures have also to the following installation requirements is specified for the installation of vertical and horizontal components, and importance of the consideration work and the checklist before the installation work starts, so results in the mean score of level 4.7 and above. So most of based on these results, it can be concluded that the contractor safety aspect of safety aspect of concern in that is a Pigan is area where a proper plan means where the survey is done, proper planning and preparation work done before any actual installation with extreme high level of safety on site and efficient uh, installation work was necessary. So you can see this in the bar chart. Importance considered work items and checklist before the installation work starts. Proper planning and preparatory works are required before actual erection of precast concrete elements to ensure efficiency and efficient installation work. So safety level installation process. So satisfactory with the safety levels in the site project currently, means as per the data was 4.43. Work attitude affected the safety level during the installation work was 4.67. The criteria of PPE should be compiled with conscious standard, that was 4.68. Knowledge of PPE should be provided to obtain the construction project, so that was also 4.68. Safety awareness is very important aspect to the precast concrete installation workers, so that is 4.86. The bar chart in the figure 2 shows that the mean score of the safety levels are concerned to the contractors are at a good level on average. Highest score, that is 86% of the correspondents are at the scale of 4.86, scoring the um, perception of safety awareness as an important aspect to the installer. While the perception of safety knowledge and criteria in have the same percentage of 68% with 4.68 mean scale. The satisfactory with the safety level at the site currently and effectiveness of the safety level due to the workers' attitude during installation, both scores were above the mean of 4.0. It can be seen that
Almost all the respondents gave the positive feedback in relation to the provision of safety equipment for their workers in order to carry out the installation workers more safely. The comparison that can be made between the results from the figure 2 and 3 are when the proper planning and preparation work is at the very good in level, then the level of safety during the installation process is a high, is a result higher in relation to the level of awareness, satisfaction, and knowledge. So this is after the conclusion after the results after the collecting the data. In addition to this, the employer is aware of importance of safety during the installation work, where the toolbox meeting is carried out systematically, thus showing a very good level of safety. This is to ensure hazard control measures are successfully implemented. A detailed explanation must be given to the workers on safety procedures that are practiced by the company. This has to be accomplished by conducting a safety talk or a toolbox meeting operating by qualified persons such as safety officer. So we to control the hazards is toolbox meeting means before any work is carried out, uh, safety has or whatever the uh, procedure or practice by the company has to be discussed or explained in detail to the employer who is working. So this is so number of respondent to the PP to the workers. So we can see that number of respondents who gives yes is in blue and no is in red and not sure is in green. So eye and face protection, we can see that most of them has given yes, it is required and it is up to the 40% and no is 0 and eye and safety percent and 16% of respondents are not they're not sure. Respiratory was or protection, disposable e-mask. So yes was most of them 35 of them proposed yes and 5 no and 16 not sure. And similarly, most of them and head production also. Uh, most of them preferred yes and no is only 5 and only not sure is 16. Foot protection, where 40 is of yes, 0 is of no, and 16 is of yeah, not sure. And electric protection device, 50 or yes and 6 no or no, and um, there is 0 of not sure. Means everybody wanted electric protective, and no only 6, and means no only 6, and not everybody. Most of them were of needed the means suggested responded electric protective devices. Hand protective protection 46s and 10 no. Body protection 46x 0 no and 10 not sure. Hearing protection ear muff or earplug 44 years and no 0 and 12 not sure. This was the number of respondents that provided the PPE means personal PPE to their workers. So regarding this personal protective equipment, so this safety aspect, the requirements of installation process, which was given in this figure. From the figure, the safe from the personal protective equipment from the figure, safety aspect shows a good level. Percentage, the percentage shows a high level of awareness of need of written permission for safety supervision in certain circumstances. In this is the area where it was conducted. Epigan scoring of 68, the remaining 37 of the respondents stated that proper propping taking of permission is required to obtain from the project design engineer. This can be related to the finding the almost all respondents, 75%, as mentioned above, provided personal protective equipment to their workers and evidently getting good feedbacks that the workers are even use every item of PPE that has been provided to them. Before starting lifting of the components, a danger zone of crane operator must be provided so that the crane has sufficient space to work to avoid any unwanted accidents and any operations in safe conduct. Only those involved in the installation work of the precast components may be in that area. So has the safety aspects. So most of them agreed that most of them are using the personal protective equipment efficiently, and lifting any components in the crane, that it has to be provided a safer zone so to avoid any accidents, and only who are involved in the construction are should be in that area. Okay, others not allowed. Project design engineer is of general works. This is a qualified personal giving written permission to take off the propping. Propping is nothing but which is in a precast which we prop the pre-stressing is done. So which is the most hazardous part. So this is response given. General workers no. Safety supervisors 35, project design engineers 21, and others 0. So these are the qualified person given a written permission to allow to take off this propping. So operational requirements for the crane. Number of respondents. The crane has a valid permit messing and that is of 2020. The crane is operated by a component operator, that is 13% has responded. The crane is installed with the safety tools, and it was 6. The crane has weekly inspected and specific inspection documents. 5. The crane is installed with a load indicator. It was 5. The operational requirement of a crane. So at least minimum 5 is the requirement. Number of respondents. So before allowing a crane operator crane, several things needs to be checked, which is the site for the crane work. Communication device such as walkie-talkies, conditions, and heavy components to be lifted. The location of installation of the cranes and the components, as well as the capacity of the crane, operating radius. From the question asked, all the respondents said that the inspection is done every time before crane operation. To enable the cranes to operate at the site, few things need to be obtained and should be present on the cranes. So whoever is allowed to operate the cranes, so he has to need to check the some of the things such as communication device like walkie-talkies, mm, condition of the heavy components to be lifted, and location of the installation, as well as the capacity of the crane, and the operating radius, and the and he has to enable that the crane operate at the site at a few things, means and some here to enable the crane to operate in the site, few need to be obtained. Some of the things should be present in the crane. The crane must only be operated by a qualified person who has received the training to operate a crane. They should be registered through the DOSH, uh, occupational means designated occupational safety health, to obtain the operation license for a crane. Another recommended procedure is to have a document confined that weekly and periodically inspection have been performed. There are also some other procedures that needs to be installed on the crane, such as hoist over the cut cutouts, hoist over the cutouts, over the boom cutouts, as well as the chart that shows the load that can be supported by the crane. So this tells that the crane must be operated by a qualified person, and he has to be. Uh, they should register through the operating license of the crane. They should have it. Another is confined documents of weekly inspection or periodic inspection has to be performed, and this means whatever the crane capacity, the other things has to be hoisted so that it can means all these charts has to be put so that can be clearly visible or understood. So having registered with Department of Occupational Safety Health, have registered with DOS, have been trained for fire control, know about the proper procedure of welding works. So this is the percentage respondent requirement for. So okay, this is coming up to the welding works. So this is the percentage respondent correspondent to the welding works. Now we can see that 27% have registered with the DOS. A 28% have been trained for fire control. 45% know about the procedure of welding works. So this is a data, and figure shows that the percentage respondents concerning regarding the eligibility requirement for welding works in that pagan area. So based on the pie chart, only 27 respondents indicated that welding registered with DOS, and 28 respondents said that their workers had been trained for fire control, and resist for and the rest 45% components indicated the employee received training and on how to weld. For the safety aspect of the welding, the majority respondents indicated the workers receiving the training and how to do the technique of the welding. To ensure that the welding work is done properly, only qualified welder is allowed to perform the welding work. Welders eligibly are those who have registered with the Department of Occupational Safety Health, that is those um, those these welders need not receive training for fire control. It should be conducted that the safety aspect for the welding work is an extremely good level where welders doing the welding works meet the criteria such as required to be registered with the DOS, have received training from the fire control and know the way to proper welding, and the work is done safely. So for a welder, as indicated before in the pie chart, you know that how many of them have responded that they are registered to the DOS. They know that they have undergone the training, and they know the fire safety. So to ensure a proper working, the welder should be properly qualified, and they should be registered with the DOS, and they have to get the proper training with the DOS, that is Department of Occupational Safety and Health. So this is about the precast occupational health and safety in the precast side. So thank you for attending this session 5 in the module 5.